you guys know that there's a lot of different stereotyping out there about black people. Typing out there that a lot of black people have deep-seated anger, a lot of black people are unhappy, a lot of black people are angry, a lot of black people are shouting and things like that. Let me tell you something. Majority of the time, when a white person tells a black person they have deep-seated anger, it's a racist white. Yes, watch it. Yes, just observe it. I'm telling you, if you've never done the observation, do the observation. Majority of the time, when a white person tells a black person they're shouting, it's because that black person is pointing out their racism. Yes, I said that. If you haven't observe it yourself. Majority of the time, when a white person tells a black person that a black person is angry, it's because that black person is pointing out how racist they are. And then instead of them acknowledging and changing, they'll be like, oh my God, you're an angry person. Why are you always angry? Oh, you have deep-seated anger. Why are you shouting? Let me tell you something. Hey guys, welcome back to Analysis with Janet. Here we talk about everything. Feel free to share your thoughts, your opinion in whatever thing we're talking about, but always remember to be polite as you share your thoughts and opinion. So today we're going to be talking about stereotyping black people. Yes, you guys know that there's a lot of different stereotyping out there about black people, and this stereotyping has created a lot of conspiracy theories and a lot of narratives about black people that is affecting us black people. And today I want to talk about some of the stereotyping that is very common and some of the ones that I have experienced personally too as a black person. So first of all, let's talk about stereotyping. Why is it that white people are very quick into stereotyping black people? A way of them dealing with their insecurity. Yes, it's also a way of them using it as a weaponized way of denying the fact that they are racist. If you know one thing about white people is that the way they deal with their insecurities is that they make it look like we blacks have the problem. And I'll give you a very good and simple example. It's like today in the society, you see a lot of white people now being very curvy. When you were growing up and when we grew up as black people, we always told that beauty is based on the fact that you're a zero weight person. For instance, I'll give you my own personal example. Growing up as a child, I always used to think that if you have a big lips, you're an ugly person. If you know me and you see me, I have really big lips. And when I grew up as a child, I was always bullied for the fact that I had big lips because you grew up and watch all these cartoons. I hated cartoons, to be honest. I don't like cartoons because for certain reasons they always painted people with big lips to be ugly, and they always made this kind of stereotyping cartoons that were always painting people with big lips looking so ugly, looking so unkempt, or something like that, with big lips, pumped lips with a red lipstick. And I remember when I grew up as a child, people always say this to me, your lips is so big that Janet, they can divide it to everyone in Africa and there'll still be remains. And it was always insulting. And I always try to deal with it by trying to make the play it out and make it look like they're stupid or they're dumb or try to defend myself. But the truth is that one, it did affect me. It did affect the way I looked at myself. And I remember growing up and there was this girl in my class. She had really small lips. And she always put lip gloss on it. She always had lip gloss on it 247. And every time I looked at her lips, I would stare at her lips and I would imagine that my lips are going to be as small as hers. But it never happened. And sometimes I would go to the mirror and I would try to twitch my lips to be as small as it can be. And for the few seconds that my lips would be as small as I could fix it to be, I look at it and I get excited and I get super excited. I feel like, you know what? That is it. It's good. But the truth is that it affected me. And when I grew older, and I remember when I migrated to Sweden in 2013, and that's when I think the lip pumping thing just started, where people were starting to inject things in their lips and trying to get big lips. And I'll see a lot of people be like trying to compliment me with my lips. They'll be like, oh my God, your lips looks really good. Is that natural? Oh my God, I love your natural lips and things like that. I never liked my lips. I grew up just disliking it because it was everything I saw about it was ugly. And it had to do with the way that when the whites arrived in Africa, you know what they did with us? They made us look like if you're curvy, if you have big lips and things like that, you're an ugly person. And let me tell you something, that is stereotyping because you're taking people's body future and you're using it against them. And the bad thing is now that when I came to Sweden and I saw how people put a lot of money into getting big lips, and I started reading a lot about my lips and a lot of certain things and stereotyping, I realized that I only hated my lips because it had been stereotyped that people that look like me that have big lips, they were ugly people. So it made me to create that hatred for my lips. But my lips, I wasn't an ugly person. It was a stereotyping that was created surrounding people that look like me. And I tell you something, that's why I say it is that we blacks need to address the stereotyping that is going on when it comes towards black people, because I don't know what you're facing. Somebody might have faced something issue. My own issue was my lips, and it affected me a lot because I grew up thinking that when you have a big lips like myself, you're an ugly person. You are a person that you are not beautiful enough. And today you see a lot of white people having big lips, and now it's like, okay, it's beautiful, it's a beautiful thing. But then when black people that had it from the origin, when they had it before the plastic surgery thing came in, they were ugly. They were seen as what? Oh, you're seen as an ugly person for having a big lips. Oh, you're an ugly person for having it. But today, white people have it, and they're not ugly. On the contrary, they are beautiful, and that is the stereotyping. You've stereotyped. Do you know how many black people face that? Do you know how many black? I'm one of the people that hated my lips because of the stereotyping that surrounded it. Because they always said it looked ugly. As a black person, if you have a big lips, you're an ugly person, and I'll tell you something. Remember I said stereotyping is white people dealing with it's a way of white people trying to deal with their insecurity by labeling us to have a problem. And a good example was the example I just gave about my lips. I was growing up thinking that I'm not as beautiful as I wish I could be because of my lips. But today, now that I understand a lot of things, I don't wish, like I used to say this, I don't even wish to have small lips. Like literally, if I had to wake up one morning and my lips had reduced, I would literally scream myself to the top of the roof, because I'm like, what am I supposed to do? But back then when I was growing up as a child, I did so much. I even prayed that one day maybe my lips is going to be as small as I wanted it to look, so I might look really pretty or really beautiful, because that's how the standard look like. And that's the thing, black people, there's a lot of stereotyping that is affecting us black people. We have been stereotyped. Or if you have big lips, you're an ugly person. If you dress this way, if you do things like this, and that stereotyping is affecting us one way or the other. And whether we acknowledge it or not, and whether we deny it or not, it is affecting us. And we need to stop the stereotyping on black people. And we need to stop it by starting to educate our people and starting to make them understand that stereotyping, the fact that white people stereotype us, is another way of them dealing with their insecurities. And they deal with it by putting us to be the problem, or by putting us to feel like we are not good enough. You're not good enough because a white person cannot be like you. Now that a lot of white people can get big lips, now big lips is the new trending thing, the new beauty in the market. But back then, when doctors were not advanced enough to increase the lips of a person, then it was like, oh my god, black people are so ugly with big lips. And we even saw cartoons, we saw things put in museums where they'll paint somebody black and then put a big lips and a red lipstick on that person and make a mockery out of it, and they'll laugh about it. It was like a funny comedic thing, but it affected a lot of black people, especially somebody like me. And I'm an example of it. It affected me because I had big lips and I'm a black person. The fact that I had to grow up thinking that the way I looked had to affect me because of what the stereotyping that was put out there, because of what I have, that it's not as if I choose to have a big lips. I was born with this, and it has to do with my genetics. And the bad thing is that a lot of black people face it. Yours might not be your lips, it might be your curve, it might be your body structure, it might be your skin color, it can be anything. And we need to erase that stereotyping, because this stereotyping is killing us black people. It's affecting our people. And another thing again with stereotyping that I said, remember I said the stereotyping is another weaponized way of white people denying to accept racism. Yes, there's always this stereotyping out there that a lot of black people have deep-seated anger. A lot of black people are unhappy. A lot of black people are angry. A lot of black people are shouting and things like that. Let me tell you something, black people, it does affect us, because you're often told, oh, you have a deep-seated anger person. Why are you always angry? Why are you always shouting? Let me tell you something. Majority of the time, when a white person tells a black person they have deep-seated anger, it's a racist white. Yes, watch it. Yes, just observe it. I'm telling you, if you've never done the observation, do the observation. Majority of the time, when a white person tells a black person they're shouting, it's because that black person is pointing out their racism. Yes, I said that. If you haven't observed it, observe it yourself. Majority of the time, when a white person tells a black person that a black person is angry, it's because that black person is pointing out how racist they are. And then instead of them acknowledging and changing, they'll be like, oh my god, you're an angry person. Why are you always angry? Oh, you have deep-seated anger. Why are you shouting? Let me tell you something. You don't trigger people, gaslight people, and expect them to be nice towards you. That is selfish, that is egoistic, that is manipulative. Yeah, in Sweden, I'll tell you something. Every time I tell the Swedes that they are racist, you know what they tell me? They tell me how I'm deep-seated anger. They tell me how I'm yelling. They tell me how I'm an angry person. And I used to tell the Swedish people this. I say, look at me. You're not going to use your stereotyped mentality that you have cultivated in your society that allows you Swedes to be racist and put it on me, because I tell you something, I have 100% to have a deep-seated anger. You cannot sit and be a racist person coming to work every day and being a racist, and you expect me to come there and you become a racist, and you're a racist towards me, and you expect me to be what? Nice. What am I supposed to do? Clap for you? Give you a Nobel Peace Prize for being the Swedish racist that you are? Because I once said that to a Swedish person here in Sweden. I'm like, please, am I supposed to hand you a Nobel Peace Prize and be like, thank you for being a racist, and smile myself from molars to molars and show you how good you are of a racist? And when you say that to them, they stop. Yes. Now that I've said it so many times to Swedish people, that let me tell you something. That stereotyping that you've created, where you say black people have deep-seated anger, black people are angry, black people are always shouting. Now they don't say that to me. That's why I say we need to first of all understand the dynamics surrounding stereotyping. Why is this person stereotyping this person? What is the benefit? What is going on? Because if we cannot understand those things, we're not going to be able to help our people, help our kids, help a lot of our people get out of that box. Because this stereotyping thing is a box that white people have created and put black people inside, especially blacks that are very vocal and complaining about racism. The minute you start complaining about their racist behavior towards you, then they put you inside the box to feed you and be like, oh, you have a deep-seated anger, or you're an angry black person, or you're shouting, why are you raising your voice, oh, you know what, you have a problem. And every time I point out to the Swedes that they are racist, or they've done something that is a racist thing, they'll tell me how, Janet, you black people have a lot of deep-seated anger. Janet, you're shouting. Janet, you're an angry person. Yes. And the truth is that it can affect you, because you can start feeling like you're the one with the problem, not them. And I've seen black people here in Sweden that struggle with that. They feel that they're the ones with the problem. They'll be like, what did I do? What did I say? All I said was just point out the racist behavior. And now I'm what? The angry person, the bitter person, what? The person with the deep-seated anger. And I always used to say this to people like that. I'm like, you're not the problem. But they have to make you the problem, because they have to scapegoat somebody. Somebody has to go for the fall. And the bad thing is that when a racist doesn't want to accept the fact that they are racist, you know what they do? They paint their victims to be the one with the problem, because that's the only way they can escape that they are not racist. The truth is that you are attacking people, and you're weaponizing through the feelings and the emotions of those people and painting them to have the problem, because that's what is going on. When you white people have attacked black people, you weaponize over their emotions, and then you label them as deep-seated anger people, bitter people, disgruntled people. In what way are they? That they're dealing with your abuse, with your racist behavior. So we black people really need to start understanding that. And that's it for it today, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I hope to see you in my next video. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, called Analysis with Janet. And guys, always remember to be polite as you share your thoughts and opinion in whatever thing that you want to talk about. And like I said, I hope to see you guys again in my next video. Bye, guys.